Well, hello again. Today we're looking at two passages. We're going to be looking at Genesis 9 and Matthew 5, just about the rest of the you shall not murder thing. So we'll look here. So God blessed Noah and his sons, this is after the flood, and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be in every beast on the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that moves on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely for your lifeblood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For the image of God he made man. For in the image of God he made man. And as for you, be fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly on the earth and multiply in it. Okay, so a few things that's kind of interesting in this passage. We see that all food, everything that lives, is given to us for food, which I didn't think about much before getting to this passage, but that kind of indicates this whole clean foods, unclean foods of the Old Testament. Were an addition, especially when we think of going back to Abraham, and the covenant that we're attached to is the Abrahamic covenant, that those food restrictions were not in place yet. That comes with the Mosaic covenant. But I didn't research that enough, so I'll not say too much there. Again, we see this relation of blood and life. We're not supposed to eat the blood. When we think about how later we eat the body and blood of Jesus, right? There's this kind of interesting dynamic there where we see that the blood has the life in it. And in John 6, right, it says that whoever eats this shall have life, and like life eternal, right? So that's a very interesting thing. Surely, anyway, the main point, though, here is that taking our man's life demands a reckoning, and so every beast still required, but also from the hand of man. So this indicts murder. You're not allowed to murder, and then why? Well, whoever sheds man's blood, what he's doing is he's violating the image of God. So everyone has inherent dignity because we're made in the image of God. And this doesn't matter whether you're crippled or whatever situation you find yourself in. People have an inherent dignity that we cannot violate, and this includes ourself. We are also made in the image of God, and so we have to keep our own self and look after our own bodies because they are, well, even more now, the temples of the living God. Was Christ has come and made his home with us. But we have this natural dignity to ourselves as image bearers, and we can't damage that, as it's a gift to us. Even our life is a gift to us, right? It's not. Our modern world wants to say, our choice makes everything. We're these independent choosers, and we can do what we want with our body. Well, no, we're actually made in the image of God. We're created, and our bodies are a gift to us, not for our destruction. Now, here we go into more of the depths of the law, and we'll see how this law of you shall not murder really plunges into our hearts and deals with something called concupiscence. But let's take a look here. You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be in danger of judgment. But I say to you, that whoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whoever says, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar and remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Agree with your adversary quickly, while you are on the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge hand you over to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Assuredly, I say to you, you will by no means get out of there till you have paid the last penny. We'll focus on this part, right, where Jesus in his in Matthew 5 is really showing the depths of the law, and how even our anger is liable to judgment, right? We get angry with our brothers and sisters. We put ourselves in danger, right, before the Lord. And so this points to the fact that even our heart is judged rather than just the external sins. The heart is judged. Then we have these other things, right? Raka, you fool, right? Again, these things that we wouldn't see as murder, but where we're devaluing a human being, we're putting them down, where we're destroying who they are, and damaging them in even maybe a psychological way. That this is akin to murdering. Obviously there's gradation there, but yeah, when you're damaging a human, when you're violating their dignity, you are violating this commandment, which is meant to tell us that we have to look after our brothers. So let's look at that again, just the main part of this. You shall not murder. What does this mean? This means that we should fear and love God, so that we do our neighbor no bodily harm, nor cause any suffering, but help and befriend our neighbor in every bodily need. When you're calling someone you fool, you raka, or raka, which means worthless, right? You're devaluing them, and that's not taking care of them. So what does God, here we're going to read here, 70. Does God forbid you to take your own life? Yes, God has given me life, and he alone has the right to take it. If I take my own life, I commit murder. 71. How do you harm your health and shorten your life? I harm my health and shorten my life by laziness, neglect of my body, recklessness, overeating, drunkenness, chemical dependency, immoral sex, anger, and worry. Right? As we live in a negative sort of lifestyle, harming our own bodies, this is again kind of, it is murdering ourselves in a sense, bringing our lives to shortness, right? Is there ever a time that you should risk your health and life? Yes, it may be necessary to risk my life to defend my country, carry out my occupation, save someone's life, or because of what I believe. Why is human life sacred? Human life is sacred because God is the one who from the moment of conception created my life. Psalm 139, 13 through 16. You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit them together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. It is amazing to think about. Your workmanship is marvelous, and how well I know it. You were there while I was being formed in utter seclusion. You saw me before I was born and scheduled each day of my life before I began to breathe. Every day was recorded in your book. Wow. Yeah. So that's where we see this, this really sacredness of human life. And we would say from conception to natural death, right? That we want to protect human life from all manners of things, right? We don't want to just do it in a simplistic way, but we want to look after our neighbors, in every way that we can, whether this is from not damaging their health via, toxic chemicals, or, harming them through our lack of care. But yeah, in any way, we want to make sure that people are looked after. Well, blessings there, and sorry again about the sort of sick nasally sound. Bye-bye for now.